and welcome to ETimes, first of all.
Thank you so much for having me.
Ma'am,
Okay.
you are an actor. You have also worked as a sound designer. You have won national awards. You are also a costume designer, an assistant director, a mother, and so you played so many roles in your life. So, which is that one role which is very close to your heart?
Honestly, I think acting, because that's the first that came in my life. Acting is the role which I learned first as a kid. So कहते हैं ना बचपन में जो सीखो वो फिर एकदम fix हो जाता है. So that is the thing. And I have so many times taken a break, gone away and come back, and it's always there. So I think that is a role which is the closest to my heart and the role I respect. But I like every role I've done. I've enjoyed doing. But I can't put motherhood as a role. I think motherhood is a separate part of it. Having said that, I think acting is the closest.
Okay. The audience has seen your acting, and no one can even think that acting happened to you accidentally. Like we have heard you speaking about that, how you got into acting actually, how you got your first assignment, and we would love to hear it from you again.
Oh, okay. So my Baba is a photographer, still photographer, and they had a Filmfare contest, talent contest, I'm sorry, which was held by Filmfare. And it was sponsored by United Producers, Directors. So there were like about 6-7 top producer directors of those days who wanted new talent to come. So they were sponsoring it. And if you were selected in that contest, you would get a contract of about, 3 film contract or something like that and everything. So there were a lot of young kids coming to Baba and asking, हमारे photo लीजिए, हमारा form भर दीजिए, talent contest में जाना है. And Baba was just very tired one day. He was just, he's been doing it for the whole week, and he was very tired. तो ऐसे ही मजाक में मुझे स्टूल पे बिठा के एक फोटो लिया और टैलेंट भर के भेज दिया. It was only above 18. You should have a theater experience and you have to be from college. Those were the specifications. So it was a joke basically. And it so happened that the person who was going through it, unka naam Shami ji tha, he was part of a magazine called Sarika. And he was a close friend of Mr. B.R. Chopra. And Mr. B.R. Chopra was looking for a kid for Hamraz, a fresh face. So he showed it to him, and that's how it happened. And then I was introduced along with the others, other winners of the contest. I was not a winner. I was just like a Stephanie put into the contest.
So how life changed after that?
Life changed after that? Oh, that's a very profound question. I don't know if we have time for that. It's too profound. I think basically it just changed from being a regular kid. You became a working kid.
Yes.
And, then everything changes with that. And then that leads to you growing up and working in films. That leads to something else. And that leads to this interview today. So it's that kind of a full chain reaction of that one thing.
If given a chance, what changes will you make in your life as a child? And also what altercations would you like to make in your life as an adult?
Nothing. Genuinely. I mean, whether things have gone right or wrong, whatever it is, I don't believe in having regrets or changing anything. I think this was my life. And I've lived it honestly, and that's what matters. And this life has made me who I am today. So, it's all part of my life. And I like it. It's mine. It's been given to me, and I respect it. And I think whatever you do at some point of time is correct for that moment. In retrospective, it might look different. It's like sometimes I do a film. If I see my film after 7 months, I want to perform differently. You know, I see a film after 6 months and I say, oh, I could have performed this scene in this manner or something. And I think same applies to life.
So you have always wanted to go to school. Like you have said this in your interviews as well. Like you always wanted to go to school, but then somewhere this acting came and it got stopped. So, like, what exactly Sarika was dreaming of? If ever she would have completed her education. And what career were you planning to pursue as a child?
I don't know. I was very fond of history. I'm even now very fond of history. I'm very good with research. I love to research. Even if I read a news item, I like it. You know, then that whole day I keep going back, looking at all the links. And so I don't know if that falls into any specific this thing. I might have become an archaeologist. I don't know if I needed to study for that. I really like the whole concept of discovery, you know. And imagine those people who actually work on those sites when they're excavating things. How beautiful they must feel. No? And it's such a laid back life. There is no, you know, you go in your own world. Aapko koi pareshan nahi karta, aap apna kaam kare. You're discovering things. I think I might have done that. And I just day before yesterday, I was reading in Mexico, they have this site where they discovered these elite homes, which this I read it day before yesterday. And these are amazing things. It's not just discovery, you know, it's connecting with the time,
Yes.
you know, which is so far away from us. Like there was you know, it's like it's somewhere that history and all that comes together. I used to always read about plague and all that, and it was something that you always read. It was only in books, it was only in films, and in these kind of documentaries. And then COVID happened, and it became our plague. It was so scary, but that was the modern day plague, you know. So it's very fascinating. History it has a way of uh, coming back in different forms.
Yes, you and your daughters, you share a very friendly rapport. So was it the same with your parents? How were they? Like what? What
No,
are
it
their
was not the same. It was not the same. And I just think it's very important. See, telling our kids as a parent, you know, introducing them to the concept of right and wrong, uh, how, you know, basic models and, you know, behavior, all that is good. But I think beyond that, you need to respect children. Just because they're younger to you, you cannot not respect them because they have a mind of their own. And once you go there, you have to be their friend. They are your closest friend. These are two friends I gave birth to. It's like that. You understand? It's such a beautiful feeling. And because the gender is same, it becomes more it goes to another level, you know, the conversation and sharing and all that. And if your girls are like my girls, then life is a big role of fun. You know, the sense of humor is there. There is a lot of fun. There is a lot of laughing. And both of them are very different girls. So I have like uh, you know, two very different kinds of friends. So that's very important to me. So I, right from the beginning, even when they were kids, I tried to do that with them. Not, you know, just do one thing. You have to spread it out.
Suraj Barjatia sir had said in his interview that he normally cast you for the loneliness that he sees in your eyes. How far you agree to it?
I don't know. I'm an actor. Different directors see different things in my face. And if that gets me a good film and a good role, I'll show all emotions. But I think this is, see, everybody looks and, you know, everybody has a different takeaway. So the interview he saw, I don't even know. I actually, till the promotion of the film, I didn't even know this thing. He never told me this. Only when we were promoting, I was sitting next to him when he mentioned that I had seen her interview and I took her, casted her for that. It was a surprise to me also. So it's very different. I don't know. Maybe it was a very intense interview. You must have been talking something very serious or something. But I must ask him, actually. I should make a note of this.
Your favorite co-star? You have worked with n number of actors.
No. No. We don't go there.
Like we have seen you working with Sachin sir, Sachin Pilgaonkar. Like,
no. There is no favorite co-star. It is impossible because either your co-star is good. If either they are good or they are bad. It's very simple. And the ones who are good, there is no comparison because each co-star brings a different thing, to the table. When you were, like working with Nasir brings a different energy. Working with Anupam ji brings a different energy. Working with Farooq Sheikh ji brings a different energy. Working with Mr. Bachchan brings a different energy. How can you say who is better? In these 5 names, tell me, can you? No, you can't. See, so it's not even possible because they all bring different energies to the collaboration. So these are all such brilliant actors. They're so good. And when you have a good co-star, it is so good. It is such a thrilling experience. It's a blessing to have a good co-star because that takes the scene to some other level.
Who is that one person who will always cheer you up when you are feeling sad?
Who is that one person who will always cheer me up when I'm sad? Yeah. Oh. Okay, person I can't say. Can I say thing?
Yeah, you can.
What cheers me up?
Okay.
Okay, so I have this compilation of some of the most funniest interviews. And it's a compilation of some like 92 or something. So if I go in that, I just put them on a loop. And you won't believe it. I've seen them so many times, but I just cannot stop laughing. And of course, if you see a good comedy film or something, humor is what cheers me up, basically. And if you go to your favorite film or these interviews, they're so funny. You should try doing that. Go to YouTube and just keep saving your funny interviews and just see someday just see half an hour, you will realize what I'm saying. It's great fun. Okay. And they are assured to be always humorous and happy. There is no mood happening there.
Ma'am, when you took a sabbatical from acting and tried doing something different in the sense when you were doing backstage work, like, yeah. So that time people were very conscious to give you work, right? How you dealt with this situation? How you made them feel comfortable and you break?
When I was doing backstage?
Yes.
That was interesting. First of all, when I went backstage, I wanted to break from acting. I didn't want to act. I wanted to do something else. So I consciously took a 1-year break that I'm not going to act. So now what do you do different? Theater has always been something where I was always the audience, Theater was never mine, like cinema. And my very, very good friend, Vinay Pathak, उनके साथ काम करो तो every time he had this whole thing sorted. Cinema भी उनका था, theater भी उनका था. It's a great jealousy, I mean, how do you have two? You are owning 2 different spaces. You can't do that. So I think somewhere in the back of my head, it was that I want to be like Vinay Pathak. I want to be a cinema person and I want to be a theater person. So that's how the thing started. And मुझे पहले 1.5 महीना एक ही काम दिया गया था और वो था नींबू पानी बनाने का. So इतने जब लोग होते तो नींबू पानी बहुत बनता है. Let me tell you, इतना सारा बनता है. So I was the नींबू पानी girl for 1 month or so. because everybody thought that maybe it is just a thing and थोड़ी देर में ये उतर जाएगा, भूत चली जाएगी, तो उसको अभी नींबू पानी बनाने बोलते हैं, या थोड़ा कहीं साइड में बैठ के कॉस्ट्यूम घड़ी कर दिया. सो किसी ने कुछ नहीं किया ज्यादा पहले, बट later on, of course, it was when they realized I'm not going, so things changed. And it was a very nice group of people, so it was very easy to do it. I don't think I could have done it if there were people who were conscious of star status. It would have been difficult. I'd done Bheja Fry, so it was like home turf for me, and it was wonderful. Once we started, then it went on for 5 years. I just didn't want to come back after 1 year. I just wanted to keep doing that, and मुझे पता ही नहीं चला कब 5 साल हो गए. And इतनी मेहनत होती है, मैं आपको बता नहीं सकती.
Audience just see the actors who are on screen, but they never.
That happens for films also.
Yes,
the same happens. The only difference in theater is, I don't know, no matter who you are, what you're doing, everybody is on one level. There is no hierarchy there. It's a family thing. When you can be acting, you can be the lighting the stage, doing the sound, doing the props, and doing backstage. Backstage for us is like the hardest work. Like, we have been to so many cities. I have only gone from back entrance. I cannot recognize the auditoriums from the entrance because there was no time. From 7 to 11, you are working and slogging like a donkey. But everybody else is also there. So that is something very beautiful, that sharing that happens. And unlike films, in theater, sometimes when the light is off, you have to change the set and you have to do costume change. And I remember there was one play where we used to change the costume. We had like 13 seconds and 17 seconds. So that kind of that rush that you get, you don't get in films. An audience doesn't know. So now I remember once I started working and 2-3 साल हो गए थे, and I went to Prithvi. Prithvi is my favorite place. I love Prithvi. I had always been an audience. I was always there, never crossed the stage. Then it became my place, So I knew exactly when a play is watching now, what is happening, what people are doing there. सीढ़ी पे कौन बैठा है, दरवाजा कौन खोल रहा है, So it was nice, and it wasn't difficult because it was just beautiful.
Yeah,
I'm so happy I did that when I did that, honestly.
Yeah, I can completely relate to that because even I did theaters for 1.5 years. Like I used
to dance. Did?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. I used to dance. I used to act, and और जैसे आपने कहा, I never knew कि ये theater का front कैसा है. I always knew theater का back कैसा है, because after that when I went with my parents to see that show again, and I was like, Mummy, I just cannot sit here.
But once you do that, now when you see play, now I remember. Now what happens? I went after having started work and all that. I used to love putting glow tape. That I used to love doing. There are 2-3 things I used to love doing. I mean, I liked all my work, but there were 2-3 things. I like to set the makeup table. I like to clean it with, everything so it's fresh for the next day and set it up. The other thing I loved doing was putting glow tape for the marking. Spot marking.
Yes, spot
marking. And you have to make that very thin cross. Yes. Especially if you're in Prithvi. No other auditorium. But in Prithvi, the marking has to be very thin cross so the audience does not
see
it. Only the actors see it in the dark, Yes. And I used to love doing that. That was like my thing. And then we went to see a play. One of our friends, Pooja, we went to see her play. And something happened and there was a big glow tape. So
it's glowing in the dark.
I was sitting with my friend and my thing is, oh my God, glow tape. So my first instinct was to go on the crossover to the stage and pull it out because somebody had left it behind. So if you've gone backstage, you can't ever be an audience. It's impossible.
It's impossible. I agree to that, ma'am. How is it to be back on screen after years?
Coming back is always fun. I love acting. I enjoy it very much. Like I enjoy most of the things, but acting I really enjoy. But it has to be a good set, because if it's not a good set, and if you realize on the first 4 days, oh God, we have gone wrong. This is not going to work, and then it's a very difficult journey, because I like to see everything to the end, even if even if I see a bad film, I see it till the end. If I'm reading a bad book, I finish it to the last page. So you have to do that. So otherwise, acting is such a great experience. And whenever you come back, and if you get good directors, I think this time I was really blessed, because before this was Alagrita, with Modern Love, and I had liked her work very much. So working with her was a beautiful experience in that sense, because she's a very, very different director, very satisfying experience. And then I finished that and got into Uchai with Surajji. So there's very different directors, and Surajji, of course, I don't have to say. I always say, I can't tell you about Surajji. It's an experience. You have to experience it yourself. Otherwise लगता है कि मैं सिर्फ तारीफ कर रही हूँ, मगर literally to understand Suraj Bachatiya, you have to work with him and experience what kind of a director he is. He's amazing. It's at some other level.
ऐसा कोई फिल्म आया है where you felt like no, it's been 4 days and this is not happening, ऐसा कुछ?
Of course, हमारी सबकी करियर में आप इसलिए तो बहुत संभाल के लेते हैं, और बिकॉज हम लोग इतने डेडिकेटेड डिसिप्लिन आर्टिस्ट हैं कि हम दिखाते नहीं स्क्रीन पे, इसलिए आप लोगों को पता नहीं चलता है, लेकिन हम सबकी करियर में ऐसी बहुत सारी फिल्में आई हैं, कभी कभी तो दूसरे दिन ही पता चल जाता है कि डायरेक्टर को कुछ नहीं आता, बट यू हैव टू सी इट थ्रू. सो वी हैव ऑल हैड दोस फिल्म्स, गुड शेयर ऑफ दोस फिल्म्स.
You did a Marathi film. It was long back. Any plans to make a comeback in Marathi films?
Oh, I would love to do Marathi films. I really like Marathi films very, very much. I became aware of Marathi cinema somewhere. I think, which year was it? I think it was, I can't remember the year. I think it was
maybe 2014.
2010. No, huh?
10, huh? Same.
Correct, something like that.
Yeah.
Yes. And in that year there was I was a jury member for a festival that they were holding a festival. In that there were about 6-7 films from Marathi industry, and that time I suddenly was exposed to Marathi cinema and Marathi directors, and it is so impressive. I think Marathi directors, writers, or creators are the only ones who really don't look at anything, think of anything else. They just go and make a film. Even if you see something like Fenry, right? I mean, just look at it. It's so close to being a perfect film. And look at the simplicity. They've just gone, made the film, and come back. These are no-nonsense creators.
Yes.
Forget status, forget consciousness of stardom or this. Forget all that. वो तो बहुत दूर की बात है. मतलब बोलते हैं ना, दिल में हुआ कि आज जाके पिक्चर बनाएंगे, पिक्चर बना के आ जाते हैं. That soul that they have, it is amazing. I would definitely love, as an actor, to work in that kind of scenario. Would be a great experience, I think. They're very much like how the Malayalam films used to be in the beginning.
Yes.
Now they're a richer industry, but a long time back, Malayalam industry didn't have that much money. They used to have the same energy. Of course, they still make great films, but it is that. But Marathi cinema, some of the films, I can't remember the name. There's so many films, even now I keep watching. They're amazing. So simple, really from this heart, and really no nonsense. वो हिंदी में एक वर्ड है ना, कोई सोचा वो सब कुछ नहीं होता, सीधा पिक्चर बना देते हैं. It's amazing industry.
Do you feel OTT is a boon for the forgotten talent actors?
No, no, no. OTT, no, no, please. OTT is a boom period.
Huh.
It's a boom for everybody.
Okay.
Let's start with the audience. It's a boom for the audience. It's like for audience, I don't think anything better could have happened than OTT. The power to choose what you see is so great. You might be wanting and dying to see a film, but it doesn't come in theater or goes away in 1 week. You can't see it. Or you go to see what is in the theater and you might not like it. Not all, but some. But in OTT, as an audience, you have the power to choose what you want to see. That is such a, empowering kind of a feeling as an audience. And the variety and the quality has improved so much. There's a lot of difference between OTT and television. It's not film, television, OTT. That's not how it is. It's films and OTT. Television is a different
Medium.
market altogether, So OTT is very different. It's great for the audience, and it is definitely very, very good for directors and writers and creators. And I keep saying this in every interview. Every director is making his or her kind of cinema. If you pick up your 4 favorite top shows produced in India, you will see the diversity. It's so amazing. The diversity is every director's work has his or her stamp on it, which becomes difficult in a theatrical release. So that is good. The writing has once again become important. I always feel, even in films, the least importance I think we give is to the writing of the film. That improves cinema, and not that I'm saying all are like that or we are not in a good place, but we can become better, I feel. And OTT writing is becoming extremely powerful. So when you have directors who are empowered, you have extremely powerful writing, then actors come into play because they have written brilliant characters. So you want actors. Like, there was a time when you had 2 good actors and 2 good actresses. It was an elite group to be a good actor. The rest of them were stars. But 2 अच्छे हीरो थे और 2 अच्छी हीरोइन थी. There is no more elite group. Everybody is a good actor.
Yes.
In each and every series that you see, at least 4 good actors are coming out. Every new series, it without fail. So it's not the ones who have been established. I'm talking even today when you see something like, I saw Farzi that day, and there is the actor who's playing Firoz. I mean, so actors are coming out in every day. The industry is full of good actors. This was never there. And every kind of actor, every age group, every personality, every kind of talent, different actors. I mean, it's so good. If you are not on your toes, you're going to get lost.
Yes.
And I'm so happy it is not those days when it was the, wo acha actor hai, wo acha, baki sab star. That's not cool, So OTT overall, I feel, is great. It's one of the greatest things. It doesn't have cinema's magic of going in a theater, watching in darkness, without getting up, without pausing and all that. So, but it's good.
And your favorite actor?
Javier Bardem. Can you watch his films? Because he's very good.
Okay. Okay. One suggestion you would like to give to the younger Sarika?
Nothing.
Nothing.
No suggestion, no advice. No, I'm not one of those Gyan people. They are doing very well. They know their system of working. These are different times. I don't think they need all that.
Yeah.
They're sorted.
Okay. One happiness mantra that you would like to give to your daughters.
Happiness mantra.
Yeah. To stay happy.
What is a happiness mantra, Bhavesh?
How to be happy?
I don't know. I think you can be happy if you really want to be happy. That's a simple way of saying it. If you know doing something is not going to make you happy, don't go there. Don't be with that person. Don't do that thing. Do what makes you happy without hurting anybody else. And have lots of fun. Have a great time having fun.
Yes. Thank you so much. And it was lovely talking
Thank
to
you.
you, ma'am.